If you're actively seeking ways to build your mental toughness, navigate life transitions with grace, or simply find inspiration to keep moving forward, then you're in the right place. Welcome to the Art of Beautiful Thinking podcast. Hi, I'm Yvette.
Hello, and I'm Kat.
In today's episode, we're actually going to cover how you can intentionally create your day, your month, or your life. We'll go into quite a number of different, basically, routines, tools, thought patterns, all of those types of things to help you be able to understand that you are the co-creator and that you are in charge of what you want to have happen in your day and in your life in general.
Yeah, absolutely. The micro. How, we talk about it a lot, don't we? You and I, we always say you've got to make that shift. You've got to do the changes. You've got to think differently and try this shift that we're talking about, which is all good in the concept. But how do you actually do it? What is the nitty-gritty? How do we do that?
That is it, isn't it? It's like, how do we do it? And if everybody understood this key, they would probably do it. And I think the thing is most people do understand the key. They just haven't put the key into the lock to unlock the door, to open the door up so they can just live that life continuously. We have this, we have the knowledge, but we don't have the belief.
No,
and
that's right.
That's really, and then I would say on top of that, the conviction that goes with the belief after that. And that's really what makes it happen. So you have to understand the concept, and then with understanding the concept, you've got to put it into action, and then through the putting it into action is where you start to build the confidence around it and the belief around it, and then you get to a point where you absolutely are 100% resolved or have the conviction that it's going to happen and that you are the co-creator of your life, not just an individual walking through separate to everybody else and separate to infinite intelligence and how all things are. You are not separate. We are all one. It's just that in this physical body, we are living by our five senses. So we believe that we allow our senses and our environment to dictate to us what's going on in our life. And really, we should be the ones dictating our environment.
Yeah.
Needs
to be the other way around. It needs to be the other way around. So, and the interesting thing is that sounds huge, but what we're going to do today is break it down and explain how to do it in the micro. So let's go from the standpoint.
Yeah, go. Because I know you were talking about what you've been up to recently, and I'd love for you to share that with our audience.
Yes,
exactly what you've been doing recently, because that's it. Absolutely it to the nth degree. So go for it.
So when I recently completed the AOBT blueprint, the workbook, I went through the process of understanding, firstly, that it took me through understanding what, how it works. Basically, it's the algorithm to life, right?
Oh,
how does it work? Isn't it? Like, you can be doing all kinds of things, but if you don't understand the rules or the algorithm, you won't do anything. You won't make any changes. So the workbook put that in. The blueprint gave me that understanding of how it works. That's what I had to learn first. And that was what you put in there initially. It taught me the concepts and how it works. That's what we've been talking about. Then the most powerful part was putting it all into action. How does that look on a daily basis? So what you said to me was you need to get a daily routine going of small actions that are repeatable and sustainable, and you do them every day without fail, with intention and conviction. And I was like, that sounds, it sounds too easy.
And also, you can look at it and go, oh, it sounds like a lot. Like I've got to put a lot of effort in.
Yeah. Sounds very simple, but also like a lot of work.
Yeah.
So how do you eat that elephant? One bite at a time, right? You can't scoff the whole thing. So let's just chunk it down. That's what I find. That's what I find is the way that I get through life. And some of the most successful people I've ever known aren't brilliant. They just know how to look at a really big thing that they've got to do. And instead of choosing to be overwhelmed, they go, all right, I'm going to eat this elephant one bite at a time. Let's chunk it down. So getting up in the morning, what do? You set your intention for the day, right? But I would argue that your intention for the day is set from the night before. You've got to go, if you're getting up in the morning and you suddenly go, today I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But you went to bed at 2 a.m. because you're up watching shitty old movies on Netflix. You didn't eat well the day before. You're feeling dehydrated and tired, or you had a couple of wines and now it's getting on for 8 o'clock and you're feeling like crap. It's highly unlikely that you're going to drag your ass out the door and go to the gym and do all the things you want to do. So it starts the night before. You think about it, you set your intention, you say, right, I know that if I don't get to bed by 10 o'clock, there's no way I'm going to the gym the next day.
Yeah. So you're actually creating a commitment to yourself of showing
Yes.
up. I'm going to
Yes.
show up tomorrow ready for the day that I've actually planned, as opposed to I'm going to show up feeling like crap. And then because I'm feeling like crap, I'm just going to get into all my old bad habits and bad patterns.
Yep.
And I may or may not make it to the gym. And if I do make it to the gym, I'm probably going to complain about it the entire time. I'm
Yep.
not going to enjoy myself. And then what does that tell you? That tells you, oh, well, I don't want to rock up to the gym anymore because it's hard work.
And
As
then
in,
I'll start saying, I'm shit at going to the gym. I can never do this. You know what I used to say? The final frontier of my life that I've never been able to conquer is diet and exercise. I used to say that to
hmm,
myself all the time. And my brain went, oh, okay, it's the final
yeah,
frontier
so
that we
this is
can't
true
conquer.
then. Yeah, let me show you. Let me show you in your patterns of behavior and in your body that this is actually true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
programming me with this software, so I shall
yes.
let the hardware reflect.
Exactly.
That's how
And
it
that and
works.
and and I think that is it in simple terms. What is the program of your software?
Yep.
Software being how you
Hmm.
think,
Yep.
your belief systems, self-sabotaging patterns are all of those types of things. They are all your programming. So what is the programming that you currently have for your software? And
Yeah.
then I'm gonna throw something at you. You can change your programming,
Yep.
and you change your programming through upgrading the software. And
Yes.
how do you do that? Through being intentional every day with your personal growth, being intentional with your visualization of
Yep.
what it is that you want to accomplish in your life, or even going, this is what I want my day to look like. When you were saying, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to set myself up to do that. After that, I'm going to eat really, really well. And I'm going to do, and
Yep.
you're very intentional. So you're
Yep.
intentionally creating your day.
Yep.
Either way, you are creating your day. It's
Yep.
whether you're doing it intentionally or not.
Yes, that's right. Healthy routines. And can I just say, I hate routine. I hate it. It really irritates the shit out of me. I think I must have ADHD or something. Anyway, the minute someone says, get on so well with neurodivergent people, and I have a hamster running in my head a lot of the time. So um, the minute someone says, you got to get a routine, you got to do this, I go, oh God, it's so boring. But actually, what I've learned after, because the final stage of the blueprint, the workbook, is to actually say, how does your day look? What are your
Mm,
goals? And what are you gonna start setting? This is why it's so good, because you go, well, actually, my biggest goal that I wanted to take away from it was I wanted to improve my health, right? How am I going to do that? I'm not going to, and every day that I don't do it, that I sit around going, oh shit, I didn't go to the gym today. I'll just eat whatever crap. I feel like I fail myself and I
yeah.
feel miserable as shit. And every day that I do it, even though I've got a long journey, like I've got a lot of weight to lose, I feel awesome. Every day that I exercise, even though I've got a long way to go, I feel awesome about it. And the reason I feel awesome is because what I've learnt to do is, instead of going, oh my God, I've got such a massive mountain to climb, I'm changing my thoughts. So
Yeah.
I'm saying, I'm going to look after myself today. I'm making myself a priority. And that's how you start it. Then it becomes subconscious. You don't even think that anymore. You just go do it. That's how you change a habit. You change from, I can't do this, to, okay, how am I going to do this? Because this is the cycle of change. I've been contemplating this for a while. How am I going to do it? How does it look? I'm going to make sure that I've got healthy proteins in my house that are ready for me to eat when I'm hungry. I'm going to make sure I've got lots of veggies. I'm going to make sure I've got good food, so that, when I go to the gym, when I come home, if I'm hungry, then I've got something good to eat. I'm not going to eat shit, first of all. And I'm going to look into the things that work for my body. So I don't like fasted exercise. And I've recently watched a really cool thing with Mel Robbins, actually. She was talking to a trainer, and they were saying that women in our age group don't do well on fasted exercise because we come
Mm,
home and just want to eat everything in sight. So I've changed the way I do things. I used to do like those pump classes when I was a lot younger, in my
yeah.
20s and early 30s, which is like lifting weights to music, and it's cardio
Yeah.
and it's completely exhausting. I went and did one last year, and then I laid on the couch for 3 days in agony because my body has changed.
Yeah.
It doesn't do that anymore. Now, when I go to the gym, I do slow and steady strength training, and I breathe, and I know that I'm lifting heavy with slow reps. So, it's still strength training. It's just doing it slightly differently.
Yeah.
And I set my intention the night before. My clothes are out. I'm ready to go. I know what I'm doing. And that's it. That's what I do. And then you take all the thought out of it.
Well, is it also because you have a visual of what you want yourself to be and feel like?
It's more to do with what I want to feel like because as you get older, you get less attached to how you look anyway,
No, no, but
and I already
what I'm referring to is within yourself. So, like,
yeah,
you're
yeah,
happy within yourself,
yep,
and you've got a feeling
yes,
state of
yes,
what your future self, when you
yes,
are this epitome of health,
yes,
and what that looks like. Yeah,
yep,
that's what I mean by looking like. So, what
yeah,
that looks like,
yep,
and you're bringing that emotional state to you now, and so
absolutely.
you're
Yeah.
committed to that future self. Yeah.
Yes, I am, and I love and the good thing about doing it like that, feeling that it's happening now is going, "I feel great now. I already feel good." Like, and I just feel like, I went and scrubbed off the back deck yesterday, good as gold. I was out there for 2.5 hours or whatever it was, came back in. I'm not aching, I'm not sore,
Yeah.
I'm strong, I'm flexible, all of these things that make you feel good, and then because you haven't got a niggling pain or whatever's going on, you just think, yeah, I feel great. I'm enjoying my life, and I'm enjoying looking after myself because that is the other thing that and I'm going to say women a lot. I know men do it too, but it's more the rushing women syndrome
Yeah.
in this stage of our life. We've got kids, a lot of us, we've got full-time jobs, we've got elderly parents, we've got partners. There's so many commitments and social things. And what we tend to do is we rush from one thing to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. And it feels like taking time. Like if I said to a lot of my friends, why don't you just stop? And I did this the other morning. I stopped and I had a yes queen shower, when you just really take your time, you wash your hair, you do all the things. I jumped out, I put all the special bits and bobs in my hair, and I blow dried my hair, and I did my skin. You
Yeah, that's
know,
why your
I've
hair looks so good today. Fabulous.
thank you. But I've faffed and fluffed about and looked after myself
Yeah,
for probably an hour, and I felt like it was completely luxurious, and I was just absolutely loving myself.
there you
Now, do
go.
you know how long it's been since I've done that sort of stuff?
And why haven't you done it?
I'm too busy. I've got to do this. I've got to do. Oh, I'd really love to do that. And hang on, I've got to rush to this. I've got to rush to that. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
Blah. Didn't put the space into my life. In actual fact, I spent a lot of time scrolling aimlessly on my phone and sleeping in the morning because I'd stayed up too late the night before.
there you go. So we do have the time. It's
We
just
do have the time.
it's looking at our day and going, how do we currently spend our day?
Yeah.
And then replace those time consuming things that are actually, you know, they're not going to help you in any sort of a way.
Yep.
Get rid of those and replace them with something that's more proactive.
Because everyone's got 24 hours in a day.
Oh, we all do.
Stephen
Exactly.
Bartlett's got 24 hours in a day and he's making a shitload of money and doing an amazing job as on Diary of a CEO. Um, People that don't have a job, that don't know what to do with themselves, they've got 24 hours in a day as well. So it's entirely your time is precious and how you choose to spend that is what will make a huge change in your life. So if you only make small changes, if you choose to go, well, tonight for 15 minutes, I'm not going to sit on my phone. I'm going to stop and I'm going to research something that I've been thinking about to do as a business or, sit and meditate and listen to myself and take some quiet time for me and think about my purpose or start thinking about how I want to make changes in my life and cherish myself, you know? And when you do that, that is powerful. It seems so small, but it's powerful.
It's extremely powerful. That's really powerful because it's that shift. It shifts your energy. Yeah. So
Yep.
when you're going from a low state
Yep.
or, a spiral down or a low state, you feel as if you don't have the energy to do stuff. The funny thing is you still have energy. You're just using your energy in a downward spiral.
Yeah.
Uh, And the idea is to turn that around to an
Yep.
upward spiral and do things that bring you joy. Now you could sit there going, yeah, but I like sitting on the couch watching Netflix for 3 hours at a time. That's really fun. That's
Mhm.
great. How is that helping you move forward in your life?
I also
How is
like to sit on Netflix
Yeah,
for
so do
for
I.
3 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
However, I can do that now without feeling back pain, struggling to get out of the sofa. Now I can sit there like a smug bitch going, "I worked my ass off today and I deserve this." Oh, and I got all my goals out the way first.
Yeah, and that's it. And that's how I work my day as well.
Yeah,
I'll go, okay, if I've got everything out of the way that I've wanted to do in that day, then now I'll go sit on the couch
here's
and
your
do
reward.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't sit on the couch first and then go, "Oh, I should do this. Oh, I
Oh
should
god,
do
no.
that." oh, I should do
No.
this, and then had the little monkey mind going off, going, you didn't do it. See, you're a loser. That type of
It's
thing.
the kiss of death. Yes, I know exactly what that horrible person in your
Yeah,
voice sounds like.
it does. And so it's about turning that around, and how you turn it around as you go, well, okay, I am showing to myself that I'm
Mm.
showing up.
Yep.
I'm showing to myself that I believe in myself, that
Yeah.
I actually trust in myself, and that I am creating the life that I want to create for me, that is important to me, that's going to bring joy into my life. And that
Exactly.
can be different for absolutely everybody. But what are
Mm.
the things that you're doing today that are helping you move forward to achieve the life that you want? And if you're looking at your life going, well, fuck, my life is just, it's a hamster wheel, and I
Mm.
don't like that hamster wheel,
Nope.
and I'm just, always in drama, or I'm always stressed, or I've always got money issues, then you've got to turn around and do a bit of internal viewing of looking at
Yes.
your patterns, looking at
Yes.
your thoughts, and going, what do I need to change?
Yep.
Because that is what's going to help you have a different life, is to
Yes.
break the cycles of programming that you've had to this date.
But people don't believe this. This is the thing. And what people do is they look at the whole thing, which can sometimes be a wicked problem. There's sometimes, I've got health issues, and I've got money issues, and da da da. There could be lots of things that are going on. So I know when I was doing probation parole work, offenders would come in and go, I can't change my life. My life's fucked. It's a mess. I've got nothing. I've got no job. I've got, criminal associates. My whole family deal meth for a living. Everything's shit. How are you going to tell me to fix that? We do one small thing at a time, just one thing. You've only got to do one thing. You pick the thing that is bugging you the most,
Yep. And
because
then
that's
work
the
on
thing that
that.
needs attending to. And it's like having a big dam of water, right? And then suddenly you just pull one little straw and a trickle starts to come out. And then you go, oh, I'll pull that one next. And then you get another trickle. And over time, the dam wall bursts, and that's when
Yep.
you get your abundance. It's when you get
Yep.
the things that you are deserving, that you're really wanting. And the other thing, I think that we forget to do as well. I mean, I love that book. You've obviously read that book, Stephen Covey, um, 7 Habits of Highly Effective
Yep.
People. For me, the story in that book that really stood out for me was the one about sharpen the axe. And I might tell that quickly if
Yeah,
that's all
go.
right with you. So there's a young fellow that goes wood chopping. And look, I'm going to say, give me some poetic license here because I've got a crap memory, so I'll do my best. He goes wood chopping with the new crew as a lumberjack, and he takes along his brand new shiny axe and he starts cutting trees. And the first day, he cuts a few trees, and then he gets shown a bit of a different technique. And the next day, he gets better and he starts cutting like heaps more trees. And by day 3, like he's peaking, he's on a roll, he's cutting a shitload of trees. Day 4, awesome. Day 5, he's learnt all these techniques, he knows how to move his body, he's not cutting as many trees. Day 6 or day 5, I suppose, is the end of the week, and he goes back with his crew and he looks at the supervisor and he goes, I don't understand it. I thought I had it nailed. Like, I knew what I was doing. I listened to all your techniques and how to do this stuff, and I was kicking ass. I was cutting all these trees down, but now it's day 5 and I've only cut down, half as many trees as I normally would, and it feels like I'm using a heap more effort. What am I doing wrong? And his supervisor said, you forgot to sharpen your axe. So
Yep. You are the axe.
you are the axe. You have to stop and sharpen your axe. Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Yep.
what does that look like? What does that look like, Eva?
Well, that looks like for different people, doesn't it? But the sharpening of your axe really is about, as I said before, shifting your mindset. Because if you are looking at your life saying, well, my life sucks, and I've got all of this stuff going on, and you continually are believing that your life sucks, well, then lo and behold, we've said this before, that's what you're actually going to
Yep.
continually create in your life. Because
Yep.
whether you want to believe it or not, you are a co-creator,
Yeah.
which means you are creating your life constantly.
Yep.
And so I then go, well, if you're creating your life constantly, why not intentionally create it to have it how you want it to be, rather than having it happen because of your old programming, because of your old belief systems, and
Mm.
then your mind, allowing your body and your mind to basically dictate what your life's going to be like.
Yep.
And you may go, but hold on, no, I'm not responsible for those people out there that, are assholes and
Yeah.
stress me out, things like that. Well, actually, you are, because your thoughts are creating that. they're attracting that into your life. And if you were looking at people, for instance, and constantly going, oh, well, people are assholes, well, guess what? People are going to be assholes to you. That's just how it works. But if you start to change that thought pattern and go, well, people are wonderful, even if
Mm,
they're being assholes, people are wonderful, and you're choosing to see that they are wonderful, because I assure you, you have got people in your life that are wonderful.
absolutely.
So
But some
focus
people,
on that,
mm,
that people are wonderful. And then all of a sudden you'll start to find that the experience with most people becomes wonderful,
it's
because you're
improved.
changing that thought pattern and that belief system.
Yep,
Now, if we go to let's intentionally create this, and I'm going to bring a bit of cause and effect here. Yeah.
yep.
So we talk about universal laws, and there is a law of gravity. We all believe in the law of gravity. We know about the law of gravity. We know that if you climb on top of your roof and drop a pebble, it's going to go to the ground, right?
Yep.
Unless a bird comes and catches it on its way down. But the likelihood is it's going to, whatever you drop from a high height is going to go straight to the ground. We do not question the law of gravity, do we? We
No,
don't question it.
no.
We just know that if you jump off something high, you're going to fall. That's just the law of gravity.
Mhm.
Now, the law of cause and effect is another law, but none of us are actually thinking about the laws of cause and effect.
Mm,
Now, the law of cause and effect is a universal law, which means there is a cause to every effect. And what is
yes.
that cause? In this instance, we're talking about your thoughts are the cause.
Mm,
Your programming, your old belief systems are the cause. So if you want a different effect, you have to have a different cause.
yep.
And the cause and effect, that law is working all the time, just like the law of gravity is. It's constantly working all the time.
Mhm.
So if it's working all the time, then why not work with it?
That's the algorithm. Figure out that
Exactly. That's
algorithm.
the algorithm.
Mhm. Mhm.
So part of that then means, well, okay, we want to start changing our thought patterns. And in order
Mm,
to change your thought patterns, you've actually got to become aware of what those patterns are.
yeah.
And that means, so the first step of anything is self awareness, and looking at it and taking a step back and going, okay, so what are my beliefs right now?
Mm,
What are the
mm,
things that I honestly believe that are not working for me? They're
yeah.
working against me. What are those
Mm,
things? Jot them down. Or what are some of the beliefs that you're holding from your childhood that that little
mm.
5 or 6-year-old is still dictating in your life today?
Yeah, we get stuck in
We
patterns,
get
don't
stuck
we?
in patterns. Yeah.
And they're unconscious patterns. We don't even know. I'll give you an example. I was at my mum's on Tuesday, and I was helping her. My mum's 83, her husband's 85, and between them, they're getting quite frail. And my mum's had a really nasty back injury. She's got bulging discs in her back, which means she basically needs to pretty much not do anything for a good 6 weeks or so. But she won't stop. And she will not stop running around and doing absolutely everything. And I'm talking washing, ironing. And she'll sit there on painkillers going, oh, and she can hardly walk. I was around there on Tuesday picking up heavy bags of rubbish and taking them out to the cart. And she insisted on helping me. And I went, what are you doing? You've just got to stop. You are no longer 20. I'm here to help. You've got to stop. So her belief is, though, she was going, I can't let you help me and do all of this. I have to do it all for myself. And it's my job to keep the house tidy. And it's my job to look after my husband and do all the cooking and all the things. And I'm like, you are allowed to stop now, but she can't. That's her belief.
Yeah.
And you just, and as a result, her back is so bad. And it's quite difficult, I think, when you're the child of an older parent and you look at them and you think, just chill out. I just said, what would happen if you stopped and all the wheels fell off? She goes, oh, everything would be a disaster. And I went, everyone would step in to assist. That's what
Yeah.
would happen. But she
Yeah.
doesn't believe it. That's
Well,
cause and
there you go.
effect.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. And
mm,
really is, it's that cause and effect is constantly in play. So,
mm.
you want to look at it and go, well, okay, what are my beliefs? What do I need to
Yep,
change? And what do I, as you said earlier on, what's the one core belief right now
yep,
that if I made a change would have a massive impact in my life?
yep, yep.
And then start working on that.
I've
And
had to do this recently for myself too. Like I've
yeah,
been quite negative about a few things and I've had to really pull myself up and go, hang on. You're being negative and you're attracting drama into your life because your expectation is that people are going to do the wrong thing because you've lost your trust and you've closed your heart. So I've
yes,
found that is a thing that's been happening to me recently. And it's a bit of a process. Like sometimes it can hurt to take a really good look at yourself and you go, yeah, okay, I've done the wrong thing.
Yeah, yeah. And it's funny because I was watching one of the property shows the other night and Grand Designs, and there was a
Love
person on
that
there,
show.
um, and she was talking about how she hadn't been, so all these issues were going wrong with a property,
Mm.
and then she went, "Yeah, well, I could have gone and gotten this architect to do a CAD drawing for it, but I chose not to do that." So really, it was just miscommunication, and it was like, no, 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 that's you not taking responsibility. That you made a
Yeah,
decision
no.
not to actually do that, and just to give the joiner just scribbly little bits of paper
Oh,
with measurements on it, and so what came out was wrong. And
yeah,
rather than
right.
taking responsibility for it, it was an automatic, oh no, it's everybody else's fault or a miscommunication. It had nothing to do with the fact that I didn't do the right step in the first instance. So
Mm,
that whole thing of self-reflection, the going back and looking on your day at the end of the day, I think is really important.
mm,
What could
mm.
I do differently
Yep.
tomorrow to get a different result than I have today? And that's
Yes.
why self-reflection is a really important progress within your
Yep.
day. What is the single negative story that you actually keep telling yourself about over and over again?
Yeah. And I mean, it is a lie. It's a complete lie. Like, you can believe that you'll never change a certain aspect of yourself. The good news is that if you don't know where to start, turn inward. If you want to do the work, unbelievable results will follow.
Here at the Art of Beautiful Thinking, we've actually created a workbook called Your Authentic Life Blueprint.
Mm.
I pretty much created this based on all of the tools that have assisted me to level up from growing up in a domestic violence environment. I've condensed these tools into a workbook that actually guides you to understanding you and to bring joy into your life and to live life from that place. So,
Yeah.
what we will also do is guide you in creating your new belief by unlocking your limiting beliefs,
Mm.
identifying your self sabotaging habits, and understanding your values and strengths so you can increase your self confidence.
Mm.
We also assist you to define your unique purpose, and you get to set goals based on that and
Mm.
then break those down from huge tasks into smaller, powerful steps so you
Yep.
can do something every single day towards living a life that is uniquely yours.
The Authentic Life Blueprint workbook is actually your comprehensive 12-week roadmap. And you can use it as a powerful self-study, or you can have it as a foundation for our entire coaching program. Don't waste any more time being miserable or suffering. It's not worth it. Yep.
I think it's part of one of the stepping stones to help you move forward, along with gratitude and all your personal growth
Yeah.
work.
Yep.
Meditation being another one. Why do you meditate? So you can get yourself in a state of
Mm.
visualizing what it is that you want, bringing
Mm.
it forward to you
Yep.
today and being that person today. Meditation
Yeah.
helps you do that because it helps you to cut out all the noise and
Mm.
to be able to design your life
Yes,
ultimately.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and time is a man-made construct,
It is a
actually.
man-made construct because
We invented
in,
it.
I know that they were saying, there's a quantum physicist that I'm currently following. She's also a cosmologist, and she says in space there is no time. And when you think of that and you go, well, okay, it's a human construct, time,
Yeah.
and it originated from seasonal changes when we were doing harvesting and planting and all of that
Mm.
type of thing. So when you were like, oh, okay, when the sun's at this point, we need to do that, and whatever.
Yeah, of
And that's where
course.
time came from.
Yep.
And it's just generated now into we wake up at this time to go to work, we do this at this time, and we are basically planning our entire day based on
Yep.
a human concept of time. And and I think that's also part of the issue when we do have a goal in mind and we don't
Mm.
achieve it in the time frame that
Yeah.
we have actually put against it. We
Yep.
kind of look at it and go, it has to happen in this time, by this date, by blah, blah, blah. And that's good to work towards. But I've
Mm.
always said that, the goal is set in concrete, the time is set in sand, because
Yeah,
you
yeah.
don't know when it's actually going to occur.
Yep.
But if you keep showing up every single day
Keep doing the steps.
and keep being committed to what it is
Mm.
that you want to achieve,
Yeah.
and having that intentional co-creativeness about you,
Yep.
then you will get there. You will absolutely get there. But
And reflecting upon feedback.
too many people give up before they get, like they go, they're just about to break through,
Yeah,
something really
yeah.
difficult. They're about to break through
Yep.
and they
Yep.
go too hard and they go the other way. And only if they just consistently showed up and broke through, they
Yep.
would have seen the result.
And also reflect that like when you're saying that you consistently show up, also consistently tweak what you're doing.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Look at it.
have a
What's
look at it,
working, what's
get
not
the
working.
feedback. What did I
Yeah,
do wrong? How can I improve
yeah,
that? Okay,
yeah.
so, I'm doing this, whatever it is that I'm trying to do. I'm getting my business going, but it's not going, like, what are the things that are working really well? What are the things that are giving me a good response? What are the things that aren't going so well? And why is that? Conversation we had this morning. That's reflecting, being really honest, and looking at how you can improve things. So if things aren't going well, for example, if I was not losing weight and I wasn't getting a result, I'd stop and go, okay, what am I doing wrong? And the other thing is, when you are um, when you design your day and you're intentional, you're able to take a little step back as well and go, you take the emotion out of it. You don't be like, oh, I've got to get this done, I've got to do that. You go, okay, I'm going to do this. I know that this is a good plan, and I know that I'm going to tweak it to improve it as I go, and I'm just going to follow my steps. So I don't have to beat myself up or freak out or think, because I've already done it. I've got the plan. I'm just going to keep going and keep doing that. And it makes it so much easier when you do stuff up, when you do make a mistake. You can look at it, I think you've said this before, observe it like an experiment and go,
Mm,
all right, that doesn't work. That's okay. We know we'll tick that off the list. All right, we'll try something different.
exactly. And
Mm,
I'd just like to add to that because we talk about, we're talking about the daily habits there.
yeah.
So you currently have a daily habit, right? Like,
Mm,
say if you're working for somebody else,
yep.
you wake up in the morning, you have your breakfast, you may exercise, you have a shower, you get ready. If you're a female, you put on your makeup. I don't know if you're male, you may put on your makeup as well. You know, you you basically are getting yourself ready. You hop into public transport or into your car to get yourself to work. You
Yep.
go to work. You know the things that you've got to do for your work. Then you have your lunch break. You do all the things that you normally do. Then you come home. You do your afternoon routine. You cook dinner or you go out to dinner. You sit on the couch. You do whatever. They're all habits.
Yep.
You don't think twice about doing those things because
Mm,
you have created a habit.
that's right.
And basically, what you're doing here is creating a new habit that you're not going to think twice about once you've actually created
That's
it.
right. That serves you. That
That
serves you.
serves you.
Because
Yes.
we can be in habits that do not serve us at
Mm,
all. And
exactly.
it's and I've been guilty of it, sitting there, you know, gobbling down hours and hours of YouTube and content and shit and going, "Oh, I just don't feel motivated. Don't feel like doing anything." Well, why would I? Because that's the other thing. Just randomly and mindlessly consuming content instead of choosing what you're picking and choosing what you want to see, even with algorithms and things that feed you stuff, there's no better way to diminish and destroy your own motivation than to just zone out and
Yeah.
just watch just shit.
Yeah.
And,
Over and
that
over.
will
Yeah.
destroy your motivation like nothing else. The other thing I notice a lot when people look at things online all the time, and I'm not saying online's bad, I'm saying pick and choose. Your brain is you're feeding it all day, every day.
Yeah.
Whatever you're putting into your brain, you're feeding it. Don't feed it garbage because, garbage in, garbage out.
Oh, exactly. Exactly. And what you want to do is you want to set yourself up for success. So, in order to set yourself up for success, is to
Mm,
give yourself the tools or the environment that's
yeah.
going to actually be conducive to helping
Yep.
you move towards success. So
Yep.
for me, my patterns of behavior these days is I wake up early, I will come out, I will actually feed my cat straight away. So
Of
there's no
course, you
noise.
must.
I have
You
to.
have no
A master
choice.
must be obeyed.
Yeah. The
And
staff,
then
yes.
exactly. And then I will actually start doing my personal growth stuff. So I'll be
Yep.
reading some books on different personal growth things that are important to me. There may be some courses that I want to do as well. So they could be the spiritual courses or personal development courses that I'm actually doing online. So I'll do some of those things on my phone. I'll meditate for anywhere between a half an hour to an hour. And
Mm,
then after that, I go off and exercise.
yep.
Once I exercise, I actually have my breakfast, and that's usually a good shake. And then I go and have a shower and get ready for my work day. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
And then I continue my day. And my
Mm,
work day is my business. And I look at my day and I have my to-do list of what I want to do in the business and what I've got to
yep.
create in the business. Then in
Exactly.
the evenings, once I'm actually finished, and I usually finish working on the computer, unless there's a lot of stuff that I've got to do with work, I'll usually finish it around 6. Sometimes I may finish around 7, 7:30, but usually it's 6. And then I'll go off, have a sit down for a little bit, for, maybe half an hour, and that's when I'll actually have a look at Facebook or have a look at what's going on
Yeah.
on Instagram. Once that's done, it's half an hour, I give myself a window, I go off and I meditate again for the
Mm.
evening. And whilst I'm meditating, I'm actually doing a facial mask or I'm doing LED light on my face, whatever, whilst I'm meditating. So I'm,
Wow.
doing two
Yeah,
things at
yeah.
once. So I'm spoiling myself at the same time. And
That's
then I
good.
come out, and if it's my turn to cook, because we take turns in cooking, I'll cook or Jeff will cook, doesn't really matter. And if it's my turn to cook, I go off and do that. If it's his turn to cook, I'll sit on the couch. And again, if I'm sitting on the couch, I may watch a grand designs thing, or I may get on my phone and have a look at the courses, or I may pick up my book to read. But
Yep, yep.
it's unwind time for me. Yeah.
Unwind time. Yep, yep, that's
And that
right.
that is my daily routine.
Yep. And
And
you
the
are
only
you're
time that changes is on the weekend when throw out the work stuff and throw in renovation work.
Just, why not? Why not? Because you don't work hard enough already. Yes, absolutely. And I probably, my routines, probably not as sort of full on as yours. I guess I've still got kids at home and I'm still
Mm,
cooking dinner. I cook dinner every night. I'm the designated chef, but that's okay, and so that's fine. I'm not working for other people at the moment, so I'm quite happy to do that stuff. But yeah, that's what it boils down to is figuring out what works for you.
yeah,
So, and I've got a friend who's a fantastic lawyer and she's a complete night owl because I'm a lark. I love to
yeah,
get up early in the morning
yeah,
and pretty much I'll exercise in the morning, get everything done
yeah,
by sort of 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm kind of going, I'm ready to wind down and relax a bit now, and I like to just do administrative stuff and more calming things then make dinner. And by the evening, I'm buggered. I don't really, and I'm happy to go to bed early. I don't want to get up and,
yeah,
and run around at night. But my friend, yeah, she gets up late. She, sits and does cases remotely from sort of 10 or whatever time she has to appear in cases online. And then she will stay up late at night because that's her best time for thinking when she's researching and drafting letters and doing all of the stuff that she's got to do.
yeah,
That for her is her time. She's an owl.
yeah. And
That's
my
what she
husband's the
does.
same. He's a night owl.
Is
So,
he? There you
yeah.
go.
So
Hmm.
Jeff's a night owl and he'll sleep in the morning. But the beauty is that window when he's sleeping in is when I'm doing my personal growth work, my meditation stuff, and I can do it without being disturbed, which is
Yeah.
fantastic. So it kind of
Actually, I
works.
did notice that when we were away in New Zealand. Yeah, that's right. That's true. He stays in bed and you're up and about doing your thing.
Exactly. So it's, you create a routine that actually works for you. And so that
Yep.
routine has now become a habit for me. And it's the same with my business. I'll look at, like, even
Mm,
with the personal growth stuff, I'll be looking at certain things there that I'll go, okay, is there a course or a book that's going to help me also with my business? So that'll be part of my personal growth work is also
mm,
work towards what I can do in my business. And my
mm.
business for me is my purpose.
Yep.
I have entwined what I believe my life purpose is into
Mm,
flowing in with my business. So I absolutely find joy in my business. I don't look
yep.
at it as work. I look at it, and I used to hear people say that when I was working in a job of, oh, I love what I'm doing. And I'm going, gee, I really wish I could be in that position. And now I find myself in that position. And why can I spend such a long time? I'm
'Cause
actually
you love
doing
it.
something I really enjoy. And I
Mm,
think it's really important for people to find joy in their life.
yeah.
And
And
that
yeah.
joy is your purpose. Yeah.
And don't expect to, I mean, I don't know. I've seen some young people that just walk straight into jobs or create things now they absolutely love and they're doing and they're making millions of dollars.
Yeah, and
Good
I
on
think
them.
it's
That's
fantastic.
fantastic. But certainly when I was younger, I did not have that clarity of purpose.
No,
I'm still on a journey now. And so if it takes you a long time to go through different phases of your life and figure that out and get your skills together and really, what we don't do is we just don't take the time to stop and listen to ourselves. Or if we hear that inner voice, the other thing that we do is we discount it because we're too busy listening to what other people around us tell us. So, for example, you might dream of being a podcaster who runs an amazing coaching business, just like you're saying. You may have people around you who go, "Oh, Yvette, I've known you since you were 10. You don't have those skills."
yeah,
Well,
what
actually,
makes
I
you think
do.
you can do that? Yeah. You're
I've
just a
developed them.
you're my you're the person I've known for years, that
Yeah.
type of thing. It's like, yes, but this is what drives me. This is what I have, this internal drive that this is what I really wanna do. And
Yep.
it took me a long time to listen to that drive because like we were talking about before, I was one of those people that the voice was going and it was screaming at me quite loudly,
Yep.
and I was ignoring it, going, "Oh, I've got to
Yeah.
work a job, I've got to do this, and I've got to do that," and also believing in what other people were thinking. Well, what I thought they were thinking. Were they actually
Yeah.
thinking that? Probably not, but I thought they were thinking that, "Oh,
Yep.
what makes me think that I can do this?
Yep.
I'm not good enough for this." And
Mm.
so
Mm.
doing all the personal growth work and that constant working on that old programming and those
Yeah.
belief systems
Yep.
got me to the point where I went, you need to listen to this voice
Yeah.
because not listening to you is making you really, really unhappy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And
You've got to live with yourself. At the end of the day,
exactly,
you're the one who lives inside your own head.
exactly.
You really do. And listening to other people or letting them invalidate you or disrespect you, whatever it is, sometimes you got to let people go in a loving way. But
Yeah.
if they're not going to, if they look at your reactions to things, if you set boundaries or you're not happy with things and they don't like it or they think that you're acting out or they don't respect it, then you can say, well, look, I'm on this growth journey. I'm doing this for me. Love you to come along. But if you can't see that vision of me, that's okay. But we're probably not going to hang out much.
And that's it, isn't it? So you find that through your growth, the people who will support you will continue to support you, and the
Yeah.
people that need to step away will step away. We've mentioned this in a few things in our relationship series as well.
Mm.
Because not everybody here is, in your life is to be a part of your life forever. Sometimes it's just a
No,
season.
a
They come and
season.
go, and that's
Yep.
fine. That's all okay. And
Yep.
I would say the same with other situations in your life as well. Sometimes those
Mm.
situations are just here for a season. They're not here forever.
Yeah,
We try to hold on to them as if they need to be with us forever,
we
and we get
do.
attached to them.
We
And
do.
you go, well, okay, is that helping you grow? Because if you're not growing and if you're not evolving, then you need to let that go. If you're
No.
staying stagnant, and it's looking for that next thing, because as soon as you make space for it, that next thing will turn up. And we've
Yes, it
spoken
does.
about that as well.
Yes, it does. It does. Nature abhors a vacuum. That's how
It
it
does.
works, and it's okay to say, well, okay, I'm ready to move on. I've got new dreams, I've got new goals for myself. I have changed. And that's one of the other things that I suppose the change within you may also create some friction. That happens too. But
It
you've
does
got to be
happen.
committed.
Yeah.
Committed. I think part of the reason that it's so good to do, as the Blueprint workbook showed, to have that daily routine, one of the things it creates is a real sense of understanding yourself.
Yeah.
And when you become your own best friend and your own cheerleader, and you know that what you're doing is from a good place, your intentions are coming from a good place of loving yourself, then you don't really like when that other stuff happens, you just go, and you move on.
Yeah. Because you're not looking for the external validation.
No,
You've
that's
got
right.
the internal validation, you're not looking at for it out here. And when
Yep.
you have that internal validation, you know your worth
Yeah,
to
yeah.
you.
Yep.
Yeah. You also can cope being on your own, and
Oh,
you actually enjoy your own company.
you don't get lonely. You
No,
don't
you
get
don't. There is
lonely
no
when you
loneliness.
yeah.
I'm always having a
Now
conversation with
yeah.
myself. How's there loneliness? It's it's the and it's just you get, and the relationships you have, you actually nurture and love
Yeah.
because you see them for what they are. Yeah.
Yeah,
And you're
yeah.
not attached to them. You're also not
No,
attached
no.
to them. It's like, whilst this relationship is in my life, I'm grateful for it and I love it
And I
and I
love it.
respect
Yep.
it and I admire it. But if it was to, if we were to part, it doesn't mean that I no longer love that relationship. I still do, but I'm just on another
I'm on another
path
path.
over here now, and this relationship has had its season.
That's
You
it.
may occasionally still bump into each other or catch up,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
and it feels as if it was only yesterday that you did catch up. But
Mm.
that's it. You're not walking away going, "Oh, I hate them, I don't like them, or how dare they not be
Yeah.
speaking to me for a month." Shit happens. Just move on. But when you actually really do, as you said, have that really good relationship with yourself,
Yep.
none of that matters anymore.
I think it's such an important thing to learn, regardless, even if you're really happy in your life. I think it's really important to learn to be your own best friend and to love
Yeah.
yourself, because I guarantee you this. I've lived long enough to know, and it's general accepted wisdom. If you don't make a change in your life, or if you don't feel like you need to make a change, or if there's something niggling at you, change will always happen. There's just absolutely no escaping change. People come into your life, they go for all different reasons. You might be perfectly happily married one minute to the love of your life, and then the next minute there might be a terrible accident. You just don't know what's going
You
to
don't
happen.
know. That's exactly
No one
right.
knows. So
You
you've
don't know.
got to have that strength within yourself to be able to move like the willow,
Well,
which is
I
what
would
I struggle with because sometimes I'm an oak.
I would also say that when you have that relationship with yourself as well, you get more clarity on what you want to do in life.
Yeah, yeah, you
Because
do.
when you don't have that relationship with yourself and you're looking externally, it can be very confusing and you go, "Well,
Mm,
I don't know what I'm here to do. I don't know
mm,
what I wanna do," or "I kinda do, but I'm too scared to."
yeah,
And when you have that relationship with yourself, you have enough respect for yourself and enough courage to go, "I'm gonna do what it takes to make this happen because
yeah,
I deserve this and and I absolutely believe that I'm capable of achieving this."
yep.
But when you don't have that relationship with yourself is where all the negative thought patterns come in about, but
It
you're not
does.
deserving, you're not
Yeah,
good enough, you're not this, you're
yeah.
not that. So it really, again, self-awareness and
Mm,
developing that relationship with yourself is really, really important. And if you I've always said as well that if you get an idea or
mm,
a desire
yeah,
that you want to achieve something in your life,
yep,
that seed has already been in you for a long time. It's a seed that's been planted in you. And if it's a seed that's been planted in you, it means you can do it. You're capable of doing it.
yeah.
Because if
Explore
you
it.
can think it, you can create it.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
by building that relationship with yourself, you're giving yourself permission to basically create that desire or that dream, that
Yeah,
life that you want. And you can sit there going, "Oh, but, you know, I'm not good enough." And I know that I used to think that, or the fear would come up, the self doubt, all of those types of
yeah.
things. But
Don't
again,
make waves, don't make waves,
yeah,
don't
keep
don't,
building that relationship
Yep,
with yourself. Keep doing the
yep.
work with you, on you,
Mm,
and then that becomes stronger. That determination becomes stronger. That knowing, that conviction,
yeah,
that
it does.
your resolve to make it happen becomes stronger.
Yep.
And then what you need to do is bring that future self, which I said
Mm,
earlier on, to your present self.
yep.
So the emotions, like think of it, what it is that you really, really want.
Mm,
What is it that
mm.
you really desire? What does that look like? Take yourself there emotionally.
Yeah,
Bring
it's
all
such a
your
good
senses
exercise.
into it. What
Mm,
is it, what are you having, the conversations you're having? Where are
yeah.
you? Are you celebrating? Who are you surrounded by? How excited do you feel? Do you feel just total love and gratitude? What is it?
Yep,
Bring all of those emotions to you because it's those emotions that trigger the belief. They
they
also
do,
trigger the thought pattern as
and
well
the action,
and the action
and
to do the stuff.
be audacious. Bring
Yes,
back audacity, I say. Be audacious. Bring it back. Who has
absolutely.
the audacity to think that they can go and change their life? Me.
Me. I do. So that's really what it's about, is bringing all of that to you because you're doing that anyway with your negative thoughts. You're putting a lot of
Yeah.
negative emotion behind your
Yep,
negative thoughts, okay?
yep,
So now you're changing that. And if you want help with it, you go, "Well, okay, what is it?" So you picture that future self and then you
yep.
bring that emotional state to you now and start vibrating in that state now. And then
Yeah.
that will cut you off from the past because at the moment your past is dictating your future.
Mm,
And you
mm.
don't want that.
Yep.
You
No,
want
that's
your
exactly
present to
right.
dictate your future by being the creator that you are in the present moment, by intentionally creating.
Yep.
Now, if we look at quantum physics, and not just quantum physics, even when you look at the ancient philosophies, they say the same thing, that your future self, your past, and your present are actually all happening at the same time.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. And in quantum physics, they talk about threads and waves and all of those types of things. And I'm not a quantum physicist, so I'm not going to get into that in detail. But the whole concept is in that area is that there's different realities, and in these
Mm,
different realities, your future self is actually already doing its thing. Your past is still going on, and your present self is there, and there are different versions of you. And so
yeah.
the idea is to go, "Well, I have a vision of myself of what I want to be in the future." So if
Mhm.
that vision comes to you, that means that actually already exists in the quantum field. And what you're trying to do is bring it to you now. You're
Bring it
trying
to
to
you.
manifest it, as they say, in the present moment, in this reality.
Yep.
And but it already exists. So you don't need to question. You don't need to ever
Mm.
question, will this actually happen to me? Because sometimes what we do is we go, I've got this desire, and you start working toward it, and then you go,
Yep.
"No, it's never gonna happen," because the fear and the doubts and all that coming, and then
Yeah.
you work towards it a little bit and you go, "Oh, but no," and then you've got this toing and froing happening. It's constantly going on.
Yeah, we
And what
focus
you
on the
want to bring into
obstacles.
your life is coming to you, and then it gets pushed away.
Yeah.
and then it comes again, and then it gets pushed away. And so the idea is just to allow yourself to be the vessel for it to
Yeah,
come
yeah,
to
yeah.
you, and you
Yep.
do that by vibrating at the frequency of that emotional state that you need to be in.
And you do that, you know, you can have extended periods where you're doing a brilliant job, and then you can go, "Oh, shit, I've fallen off," and then you put
Yeah,
yourself back on. It's just, you know, it's not like suddenly you, become this
go,
vibrating
"Aha!"
individual.
Yeah, maybe
It's
one day.
all about practice and
It is
habit and what you do, and you know what I've noticed? Even if you make a little bit of a change, it's enormous, the
massive
change that
impact.
comes that, you know, and
Exactly.
that really strengthens your resolve,
And when you're
and
open to change,
yes, yes, it's
rather than being
amazing.
closed to it, when you're open to it, the floodgates open, as you said before, all of a sudden everything comes to you.
And you don't
And
need all the answers. You
no,
don't need all the answers.
you
Like, if you
don't.
say, "I'm unhappy in my job and I don't like my career, I wanna make a change," you don't have to sit there and go, "Right, now I need to become this."
No,
You are able to just sit there and go, "Right, well, I'm gonna really meditate upon that. I'm gonna think about the things I like doing. What are those things?" And they will come to you, and then you'll think to yourself, "Well, I don't know any job that incorporates all of that." Then you might go, I think I might go and make my own," you
exactly.
know?
Yeah, that's what you do.
Yeah.
And action, like you sit there going, well, okay, does that mean I just have to sit there and meditate? Well, meditate is one of the actions. It is an action.
Yeah, it
But
is
the
one of them.
idea is in your action, in your daily doing, that you
Mm,
are constantly in that state of belief and
yep.
conviction that you are bringing your reality to you now.
Yeah, whatever
Yeah,
tools that takes. Like, I'm not a big
exactly.
meditator. I find meditation really difficult unless it's guided, but I find that when I'm at the gym, I almost get into a meditative
Hmm.
state.
Which is quite
So
normal. Yeah,
I'm dreaming, sort of almost like when I'm breathing, it's thinking about what I want,
yep.
how I want things to look. It's almost like, I guess it is like, I'm manifesting, and it's not just my fitness goals, it's my other stuff that comes in, because that's me time where
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
focused on me. And people in society go, "It's so selfish to be focused on yourself." And
No,
don't be like that. No, it's self-full. And that is how,
exactly.
if all of us spent an hour a day genuinely with ourselves, working on ourselves, doing stuff, the whole society would be transformed. It'd be
Oh,
amazing.
totally transformed. Yeah,
Mm,
totally. And it's funny when you talk about exercise because when I row, that's what I also do when I'm rowing. I get
mm,
myself into a state of
yep,
visualizing my future self and
yep,
bringing the emotion to me when I'm doing the rowing. And it's
yep.
funny because it actually makes me row faster. I have, you
It
know,
makes me lift heavier too, and
it does.
I can say, "Oh, it's discomfort, that's okay." Just detach from it a little bit and just go with it and feel your
Allow it,
muscles
yeah, and that's what I
growing.
do. I
Yeah.
just allow myself to get into the state, and I don't even look at the instrument until all of a sudden I
Mm.
look down and I go, "Oh shit, I'm going really fast." Okay, that's funny because I'm not feeling that. I'm not
No,
feeling that I'm feeling exhausted or that I'm breathing heavy or anything like that. I'm actually in
no.
flow,
You're
and
in
when you're in
flow,
flow, it
exactly.
happens really easily. And
Mm.
so if you can take that state and
Yep.
bring that flow state into your daily life, things will happen really easy.
That's very true, and it flips the script as well, because when you're doing something that you really love or something that makes you feel good, you flip it from being a chore or, you know, "I've got to go and do my exercise," to, "Oh my god, I'm actually really looking forward to going."
Yeah,
And that's how you flip it in your head, you know?
exactly.
Yeah, but it takes a while to get there, and it's all about purposeful baby steps, practice, daily practice, and yeah, just try
Well,
something, try.
you've got to be willing to make the change.
Yeah.
Because it's taken a long time. Like, you think about the programming, you've had this old programming and these old patterns for a very, very long
Mm,
time, and
really
it's
long
going to
time.
take a while for those programming patterns to start to dissipate and be replaced with new ones. It's not gonna
Yep.
happen overnight. You've actually got to put in the work, and that's when we talk about the action. You've got to put in the work in order
Yes,
for you to grow that new muscle and to grow it big enough that it's bigger than the old programming,
that's right,
and then
and
it'll erase it.
people say nothing changes if nothing changes. Well, I would argue change is inevitable. It's just whether the change is gonna be one that you want or one that's out of your control.
Yeah.
So, bad news, change is gonna be inevitable. If nothing changes in your life, changes will still happen. It's just whether they're gonna be the ones that you want or not.
The good news, though, is you're a co-creator and you can create
That's
your
exactly right. You gotta do something. Do something.
exactly. Yeah. So on that note, look, I hope you actually enjoyed today's session. If you got something out of today's sessions, that would be really, really great to hear from you. We'd love to get some comments down below,
Yep.
just to see how you're going with it. Even if you've actually could share this with a friend, go through it together with a friend and have a conversation about some of the points that we've pulled out and experiment with it. We'd love to hear from you if you start experimenting with this and what some of your results have been. That'd be fantastic.
100%.
Otherwise, join our Facebook community, the Art of Beautiful Thinking podcast group, community group on Facebook. You'll find us on there, trying to grow out that community even more so we can ignite the spark in more people and have a community of like-minded individuals, get away from the naysayers and and really starting to surround yourself with the energy and the frequency that you need to become that person that you truly desire to be.
Mm.
Yeah. So subscribe to our channel, share it with your friends and family, and remember to think beautifully and live brilliantly. Until next time, ciao.
Bye.
We'd like to say a huge thank you to our incredible audience for your continued support. Our mission is to ignite your spark, empowering you to be a beacon of light for others. We'd love to hear from you. So if you've got any questions that you would like answered in future episodes or just want to share some insights, connect with us on our Facebook community page. If you're looking for additional resources, go to our website. You'll find the link below. And remember, the absolute best way to help us grow is to share this episode with your friends and family and to subscribe to the Art of Beautiful Thinking podcast. So until next time, think beautifully and live brilliantly.